You join us again on Politics. Today we sincerely apologize for bringing it behind schedule occasion by loss of audio. And good to know, it's Saturday where we look at issues concerning the polity and look at the political developments lead up to 2023. And today we will be focusing on the first step, which is on PDP crisis and the 2023 election. What could be the fallout as a result of this crisis in the party, the main opposition party, People's Democratic Party? What will be the fallout? Will it be a fortune for other parties? And will it smell doom for the People's Democratic Party? You agree with me in the build-up, the May 30th party primary presidential poll towards the 2023 presidential poll, where Alhaji Atiku Abubakar emerged as the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party. And we had the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, in the poll among the aspirants gunning for that ticket. And unfortunately for the governor of Rivers State, he couldn't claim that. But we know the build-up that came up and all of the issues that arose, even to the point where in the unveiling of the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, the Rivers State governor did say lies were said against his person, and he would be taking time to react to all of the statements made by the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party on the unveiling of the vice presidential candidate, where lies were spoken about his personality. Well, Nigerians are still waiting to get the blueprint of all that transpired in that. But looking at that as it is, I'm your host, Philip Omo-Gupon, as we take you around all that is being developed towards the 2023 polls. Joining me to discuss this vital issue is a legal practitioner, starting from my immediate left. We have a Notary Public of Nigeria, life member and Edo State chairman, Nigeria Society of International Law, a chartered arbitrator and mediator, conciliate, and also a civil rights activist, extraordinary political analyst, local and international. Join me to welcome Patrick Isekwede.
Ojogo, you're welcome. We are the happy being.
And next to him is another articulate and vibrant legal practitioner, and he is Sonny Daudu. Welcome, Sonny.
Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers out there.
Well, some will say it's not funny. The road to 2023 is not funny at all, and we expect that as we progress on the course of this show, we basically will be getting respondents, to participate on show with us from independent radio and of course independent television, and we urge you to be civil in your responses, in your presentation, in order not to overheat the polity that is already fragile. And we're gonna be giving you the number that you'll be activating your voices on as the show progresses. But let me start with you, Sonny Daudu. The build-up, the challenges facing, let's call it wrangling or in-house fighting in the PDP. That's basically between Wike, who is seen as the strong man of PDP, and of course the presidential flag bearer. What do you make of this and all of these arguments and criticisms? Do you see it as a fortune for the party or a misfortune?
Well, thank you very much for that question. But to give it a direct answer, the wrangling may end up in a misfortune for the party. I want to take it from the point of the primaries, or prior to the primaries. Prior to the primaries, the party had a posture that it has instituted the principles of zoning ab initio from 1999. And as such, that principle will hold sway in the distribution of political powers and offices. Consequent upon that, the party convention was conducted, and the party argued that the immediate past chairman be from the south, secondus. It flows therefore that the presidential the chairman now will now return to the north, and no southerner contested the elections. which already shows a direction that the party is adhering to the principles of distribution of powers and rotational system. That informed the decision of North Southerner contesting for the position of the chairman of the party. Now, along the line, where the issue of now presidential candidate comes in, the same party now make a U-turn to say that there is no principles of sharing in the party, and that if there is anything like that, it only affects the political structure in terms of those who manages it are not presidential candidates. A governor, a vibrant governor, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, was heard saying that you have nothing to share because you are not a government. And until unless you become a government, you control the powers of government before you share. And as such, zoning will not be recognized in who becomes the presidential candidate of the party. That is where the issue started from, which to me was ill-conceived, ill-thought, and inarticulated for you to argue that there is no principles of rotational in the party. Now, if you look at the party the way it is today, with due respect to whether Southerners or anybody in the party, the board of trustees of the party, the board of trustees chairman of the party, is a Northerner. The first deputy vice chairman of the party is a Northerner. The national chairman of the party is a Northerner. The legal advisor of the party is a Northerner. I can go on and on. Now, you now daggle the vice presidential candidate to the south. The south here means the south combined, not the south-south or southeast or southwest. The south combined. Yeah, the south there is an understanding that power will rotate between the south and the north.
Though not constitutional.
Not constitutional, but it's conventional. It's conventional, become customary. And when it becomes conventional and customary, it becomes binding on the party, irrespective of whether it contains in the party constitution, which I also think it contains in the party constitution, which informs the sharing of the powers in the hierarchy of the management of the party. So how do you now make a U-turn in the middle of the game to say there is no party? Now, let's leave that as it were.
All right.
Now, the party in their wisdom, let's agree with their wisdom, feel that Atiku Abubakar was their most sellable candidate. That again was a decision reached wrongly. On grounds that, as we speak, the country is being governed from the north. And ordinarily, anybody will say is it Southern turn to govern, whether you like it or not.
By convention.
By convention. Now, they further argue that it's not issue of who governs, that it's issue of political party. It means that, for instance, if APC have their presidential candidate from the north now, he wins, he has left. Another party say, no, it's not us that rule. It's APC that just rule. PDP will now rule from the north. When the PDP rule from the north, NNPP come out and say, no, the person that just ruled now is not NNPP man person, it's a PDP person. Let again try an NNPP person from the north because we want to get power. When NNPP leave, we say, no, the next person should be Labour. Labour has no rule from the north. You are taking us as if we are taking the country for granted. That again was a minus for not knowing that the sensitivity of the country is there is a sharing formula of governance of the country. Ordinarily, the party should have zoned their the ticket to this. I am not particularly saying Wike, but if you must reward merit, if you must reward industry, if you must make commitment, if you must reward somebody who has been consistent in the party, I don't speak for Wike. Wike is best suited me for the position. Now, let's go forward now. Apart from that, when you nominated your vice presidential candidate, it was all wrong for the comments consistently being made by Wike by Atiku. Recently, he was quoted as saying, purportedly also, I may say, that they do not need Wike to win elections. That the APC won elections without Rivers State. You do not take anybody for granted. Whatever a person is, the shoemaker on the road has his importance. The bricklayer has his reporter. Anybody on earth has his reporter. You don't say more substitute. It's on partnership to say that you can win election without River State.
Well, that's an allegation.
It's an allegation. And I will expect that it is debunked that such statements were never made. It has not been debunked.
Okay, we are yet to see all of that.
So all of these are factors not going well. There are heavy factors for the party. Because the posture now of the party, with due respect, is that they are trying to tag the PDP as not as People Democratic Party. Wherein, of course, whatever the South gets. The same people who said there were no presence of sharing in the party because they were not in power, now decided to zone the vice presidential candidate to the South. Why don't you put it in the North? Because there is no presence of sharing.
Okay.
You would have said put it in North Central.
Let's get the contributions of Patrick. You've been following what has been happening, and even the statement he said. What are your thoughts in this? Do you concur?
Yeah, I'll concur, but I will bid on it. I will bid on it. Yeah, it is crystal clear. Without being told that PDP is on what you call precarious pedestal.
Heading.
Yes, for do. If you remember vividly, for months I was here, the issue of PDP also came in. When we talk about the issue between the state here, not to settle before the primaries. I told them, if they don't settle, it's going to be negative. Strong faction. Okosu was on command then. He said, Pastor Patrick, are you prophet of doom? Like what I said, and he ended that way. You look at the issue holistically. You see, you don't need a structural engineer to tell you that when you see the darkness in the wall, that DBG is unsafe. The dwelling, with a question of time, it will collapse. It's a manifestation of what is going on. There are a lot. You see, the way PDP stand, like from even what my colleagues here have analyzed saying here, it's a violation of the Constitution of federal government. The amendment constitution, federal government has amended. It's a violation. Section 15 is clear. It's clear that you want to contradict national interpretation of other ethnic groups recognized when taking decisions, appointments, whatsoever. You must recognize, you must carry that along. They must promote national unity, not one-sided. They are good now, they are not. It's a violation of the Constitution. It's not like we want to go to competition that matter. That is true. It's a violation. Yes, conversation. So what I'm trying to say is that, see, this issue I read under Section 15 is not the issue is dealt with. Because Section 13, go and read the fundamental objectives, directive and principle of state policy. It's a very solemn provision of the Constitution.
Okay, but when they were preparing for the party primary, they ranked a rancor in this.
No, I promise, sir. I'm trying to buttress my statement. I'm not just talking from nowhere. You understand me? He made it clear. It's a solemn provision of the Constitution. Very solemn that everybody in government must calm, reason, and you must obey. You understand what I mean? You must obey. Now section 13 made it clear that Nigeria shall, there's no discretion for anybody in government. It's made it clear that Nigeria shall, whatever you use, shall be a country based on principle of democracy and social justice. That's what it says. That's what we got to have democracy. Two, all of two makes it clear that Nigeria, in Nigeria government, it said power belongs to the people. Not even the governments. Power belongs to the people. It's power belongs to the people. In which the government itself, there is power from the Constitution. It means the people are supreme. That's what sometimes they say, Latin mass that day that Salut remains supreme the rest. The will of the people is supreme. The destiny of any government lies in the hand of the citizen. The Constitution are giving them power. So what I'm trying to say that, they also say that all arms of government, again, not educational power, shall observe, conform with the issue that's stated in which I'm just touching now. There's no discretion, you must obey. That is all being legislative, executive, judiciary must conform with it. You must observe that provision of the Constitution. This is so long of a government. So what I'm trying to say is that if PDP could have viewed this is what constitutional provision because it's our grandmom, they have not to do what they did. by this power one side to one side, it's a violation of Section 15 of the Constitution.
Yeah, but what I am not really happy with or at home with is that
Yes.
when all of this build-up was coming, and even when the party primary was up, nobody said anything about this hula of not going with the constitutional provision. But it now became obvious when Nyesom Wike lost in that party primary. So should it be that way?
Well, my see, the issue is that they put up the hula balloon of the and what you're having now is as a result of last Atiku's conduct, what he did, that led. There's a lot of things that, initially.
Talking about the unveiling of the.
Yes, we'll get there. Yes, sir. I will get there. Initially, the party also told you, one of my colleague told me, said here, that, they are zoning to the south. They say it's no longer zoning. So, this issue being created by political horse.
But don't you think this is secondary? Because even Nyesom Wike, the Rivers State governor, did promise that he's going to respect the outcome of the party primary. You see? And now the party primary is not panning out in his favor. He's doing the other way.
No! You see, it can never get justice from injustice. Can't get justice from here.
I'll come back to you.
No, sir, I wanted to... I'm about to answer that question you asked me. You see, you saw how the election went. How there was... At the election, we almost won the election. How the campaign moved, because the election started campaigning, Tambara to step down. You said him to fold his hand. You saw what happened now.
Is that not part of democracy?
No, not part of democracy. That's injustice of the highest order.
Are you saying that?
Yeah,
are you saying that?
Yeah, that was part of it. That is why you have to react.
The other aspirant shouldn't have stepped down. Is that what you're saying? It's in the constitution.
Yes, what I'm trying to say is that the way he emerged, that problem.
Okay, I'll come back to you. No, do you have any issues with the way the party primary went, Sonny?
Yes, of course. I have issues with it. The reason what he has just alluded to is one of the factors. Campaigns for elections ends at least a day or by 12 midnight to the elections. But what we saw was that there was a campaign at the venue where a particular candidate steps down and asks his supporters to vote for a particular candidate. That was a violation itself of the party itself, the party regulations. Eternal democracy was put in abeyance where you make such announcement at the venue of elections. You don't campaign at the venue of elections. Elections campaigns have been done. That was one. Secondly, it was a betrayal of the commitment Wike has made. I do not have to question what is the rationale for the party to have taken that decision of ceding the position to Atiku.
When you say betrayal of the commitment, a betrayal. Is it on a written, is it on a document? Was it signed that
no.
If there is a betrayal in that regard, then this is what will happen that will make it a litigation?
You see, as he has argued, if I must tell you, the party constitution recognizes rotational presidency. The party, the PDP, they have it in their constitution.
That's what you said
yes.
Conventionally.
It's also conventional. It has been on. When you say a thing is conventional, it means that has been the practice. Okay. That has been the norm. Okay. And that is correct. If that is correct, it therefore means that at this point, you could not have reneged on it. That is one. Two, I said party, the determination of who represents a people must be premised on a foundation. And if you look at Wike, I can tell you today, without mincing words, that Wike is the only person in PDP who started it from 1999, as it stands today. I can tell you that. Atiku, though started the party in 1999, but has long been running from one party to the other. Over the years, he went to AAC, went to APC, and all of that, before he finally now returned back to PDP. So if you were rewarding a man who, of course, has shown capacity, I think we can stand in a very good stead to pilot the affairs of the party. Because the question is that, if you look at the comments of even the Northerners, I have friends in the North, who themselves are not disposed to featuring Atiku They argued it on two angles. They told me that one, that even the northern Hausas have been neglected by the party. Those who are Hausa, but in the north. That it is only the Fulani extraction in the north that the party recognizes, the PDP. And that it was even wrong, even if it was even with the north, giving it to another Fulani man from the north. A northerner telling me this.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that, in essence, is that even the northerners that they are relying on are not pleased with zoning it to a Fulani man in the north, even if it is not. People just look at the north as one. They will have the Hausas.
Okay.
We have the Fulanis. So there was an error. There was a mistake. There was a miscalculation. For instance, if today, just as we have the APC candidate in the south, the Labour Party candidate in the south, we have Wike in the south, or the PDP candidate in the south, even if not Wike, you would have seen that it would be a seamless, because the next alternative was that, oh, people may have made a mistake subsequently in elections. PDP would have just taken it. There wouldn't have been any issue of PDP taking it. But now they put themselves in a very disadvantaged position that they cannot, they are just trying to now swim out of it. But if they are able to achieve that, so be it. But it is a very Herculean task.
Thank you for your articulation, Sonny Daudu. Now, there's no missing words that this could mean, bring about misfortune to the party if it's not tackled immediately.
Very well.
As it gets messier. And again, we have the All Progressive Congress that is not also auguring well in terms of the issues within the party. The Muslim ticket is already causing division within the party. And these are political parties that have ruled Nigeria for quite a number of years. And some Nigerians are begging sickly that there should be a change in these two political parties. From these two political parties, and giving attention to another we may call the third force. Now, Patrick, do you see this as an act of God? Because you've always made prophecies that you say come to pass. So let's get to hear your legal prophecies that may be coming on this. Do you see this as an act of God, that on one point we have the Muslim ticket causing divisions in APC, and at this point we have this whole rancor between Nyesom Wike and Atiku causing divisions within the PDP. Do you see this as an emergence for the third force?
Well, I must say without any fear of contradiction that the division might not cause the vote to lose this election, because you know that you have to. The third force is just a baby coming up, just a baby coming up. You are aware.
But that could be given attention.
At all of this
kind of situations around the other parties.
The two political parties we don't talk about now.
But you agree that there have been issues, you know, from Nigerians about the PDP and how they now had to go for a change, and now the change seems not to be favorable to Nigerians, and they are also begging sick.
You see? Yes. You see?
So that could be the game changer. Don't you think so?
Well, as a prophet, what you said, well, I don't see that one happening. Yeah, because I don't see that one happening. Because some are very well. You see, if you're to be in America, an advanced world, you can just on public opinion, you know where to go to, Sweden will go to, but not Nigeria. Let me tell you, like I said, the two parties, APC and PDP, they are the two dominant political parties with structures.
That will always emerge in elections, you mean?
Don't worry, with structures. You see, I'm talking, I said, I don't want to correct it. I'm talking my own candid opinion. I'm not, you see, I'm a realist when I talk. Okay. I've been in this journey for about 25 years as an activist. Right from university, I was a union leader. So what I'm trying to say, when I talk with all, I don't reserve. I tell you the truth, but I'm very blunt. You see, if you understand Nigeria very well, you see, you know, how Nigeria emerged, just 1914, joining Nigeria together, two strange people together. That's how our journey started. There are a lot of mistrust.
And that's where the problem started.
Yeah, that's our problem. That was in America, only thought we were made, not this country. The Hausa man does not trust the Igbo man. Igbo man does not trust the Yoruba man. We are not one, but we are one in talking. When it comes to the reality of election, if we want to have an election, it's being driven by ethnicity and religion. That what governs our election. Let us be realistic. That the people will say, oh, even if that man is the other man is the worst candidate, then it's not we vote for him. That is Nigerian mentality.
Which is like pursuing the
Yeah,
shadow.
yes, yeah, that is the, that I'm telling you. If you're in America, what you're saying now is already it's a done deal. But here, they go from the top in their mosque, they go to vote from region line. Oh, ethnic, they don't come about it. I don't see the election. How you actually go. So I don't see anything, any surprise from anywhere. And watch out. I think that take statistics of those who voted for this election. You said it's a dream for a senator to say they want to make as president. If they don't have backing of the Northerners. In the recent INEC voter registration, 96 million plus, about 96 million about 2 currently who registered. You are here. 96 million voted INEC for now from INEC. This is from INEC at 36. 96 there. Put the north, west, north, south, north, all the north, the three, put them there. They're almost 48 million. Out of 96. Out of 96. 48 million already on ground. And at time, you know these people, politics, how they move together. You know how Buhari emerge with the West. Because you have to Buhari in this country. Buhari of the North, for political, that is Buhari. And Buhari of the West, which is Tinubu. And the time both combined, that's how Buhari emerged. You see what is going to happen. That's why it's a strong deal for us, very tall one. So
by this you are saying that there will be an emergence of the Buhari of the West.
No, I'm not saying Buhari will emerge you. Or Tinubu. I just said that's the alias. I'm not saying
that was a diplomatic expression.
So of course it's okay. They're not from me, but I'm not trying to analyze to you. After you combine the northern and the west, their vote is almost 60 million. Then the south, even the south, I'm 11 plus get from the east, about 22, about 26 or so not up to. It's just 70 million. Can you survive it? And this is a country that whether you are bad or not, it's my religion, ethnicity. You don't want to see election. All right. So that is why I said it's not a joking matter. Okay. When I say party with structure, I'm not saying let us be realistic. Let us be by structure. But this people from local government have councillors. Already, councillor takes care of some person in their local government. But are you not aware? Local government is so chairman, they take money in their local government. That's my assembly member. They don't take care of member. Then House of Rep, Senate, do not put the control. It's not a joking matter. Okay. In Nigeria, we don't have to government in voting election. Let's not deceive ourselves. One man can control 500 persons. With the senator here and here, they obey him. His vote is final. I don't know what I'm voting for our mind. It's only few who are comfortable, that cannot influence. Something I'm talking about from that day they said their votes. I think there are people before me, they said that these are people by thought also. But they said that if they don't see anything money, 20, they will give them the money. They're not interested. Yeah, they're talking about that in thought also. So what happens is a lot of things will happen that very day. What do you have talking here and here? Just like before the people government came into power, you all are aware. A lot of things were made, a lot of things we thought they're going to be heaven or earth when the government come in. But today we see what has happened so far.
Okay, let's bring this arithmetic you just made mention of, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
Let's bring this arithmetic into bear, looking at what we have. And I think the pendulum is swinging to you now, Sonny. Now, we have this population strength that could be also not joked with from the north. And we have political parties, these two major political parties, APC and PDP, structurally buoyant, and which some say is the weakness of other political parties. Then we also have this great crowd that is really vibrating on the social media that could translate to voters if what we are saying in terms of the turnout on registration, we see them translate into votes. Now, what do you make of these numbers, in spite of the structure of the party, and that we don't have these structures, and the social media network? These calculations, bringing them together. What do you make of this? Calculating that aside with the problems that APC and PDP are really having. Do you see this as an emergence for the third force?
Well, you see, the citizens of the country has been given options. The PDP candidate, the APC candidate, and the Labour Party candidate. These are the three leading candidates, as it were, in respect to the 2003 elections, 2023 elections. Now, this opportunity will afford the citizens of the state here means the country, to assess both candidates in terms of quality, in terms of performance, and in terms of deliverables of the dividends of democracy. Now, if you look at it further, the three candidates have had their shot in governors. You have the Bola Tinubu was a governor of Lagos State, and Obi also, Peter Obi was also a governor of Anambra State. So also, although his governorship was short-lived, Atiku Abubakar was a governor before he was, of course, appointed as a vice president to the Obasanjo as a deputy vice president. He had the opportunity of winning a governorship election. So you could say he was a governor. So both of them have had...
But he was not sworn in.
Yes, but he won elections. Once you have won elections, the toga of the governor is there because the ticket of return was issued him, although he wasn't sworn in before he was made vice president. So they have asked their turn in governance. Now the question now is that the citizens have to evaluate them in terms of how they perform while they were in government, because that will be the basis of assessment. Now, I would look at that. If you look at Tinubu, without mincing words, he did creditably well as a governor of Lagos State. And of course, history had it that he was the only governor who could stood himself out and created additional 20 local government in Lagos State to bring governors closer to the people. It is also a record that some areas that were no-go areas, like Lekki and other parts of Lagos State, Oshodi and all of them, Festac and all of them were his brainchild. All of these are factors going for him. Again, there is an argument also that he has remained consistent in the political development, political governance of the country since 1999. And he has studied the governance of the country, the architecture, the dynamics of political party, and all that it takes to remain firm in handling the government of the country.
In spite of the health challenge that
yes, of course, people have argued that he has health challenge. And I must say, longevity is in the hands of God, and we cannot question whether or not, I cannot categorically say that his health may have affected his capacity to perform. It is left for the citizens of the country to judge him based on his health and decide otherwise. Peter Obi also has the opportunity of governing Anambra State. There are processes that, of course, he created. There are history that he was able to meet up payment of salaries. He wasn't owing workers, and the state was not, of course, indebted to any person while he was there. All of these are also factors for him. But again, I cannot say so about Atiku, with due respect. Atiku was known for fighting his boss while he was a vice president, who also wanted to seat him in the 2003 elections. There were also allegations, I cannot substantiate them, that he had the opportunity given to him as vice president, the functions that were given to him by the president were misused. And of course, most of the social economic policy of the country were reversed by him and make it a conservative system where, he, of course, his business will sway and privatize them. Those are allegations. But again, if you look at these credentials of Atiku, Peter Obi, and Tinubu, the people should do a critical analysis and assessment of the parties, candidates, and vote according to their conscience.
Because they are the one that will decide.
They are the one who decide.
Irrespective of the party that has structure
yes,
or no structure.
It is not, because
the
citizens now... No, I'm not talking about structures. Okay. Because the structures we are talking about is citizens of the state, the citizens of the country. They can't decide what best suits them at this moment.
So you can say that this restructuring that is happening in PDP and APC could turn out in favor of the
you see, why we cannot...
Or other parties.
No, yes, not on other... Why I cannot categorically state here now, they said the devil does not know the mind of any man. Not even the devil knows the mind of any person until the elections are conducted. But what is important to me, what I'm happy about, is opportunity have been thrown to Nigerians to determine who they should elect in the 2023 general elections as their president.
Okay.
We have persons who have the capacity now. Peter Obi is a good person. Tinubu also, to me, is a good person. I'm not going to route off Atiku Abubakar on grounds only that...
Obviously, you are not with him on that.
Yes, I will not write him up, but I am not in support of the party.
Okay.
Not necessarily him now. I'm not in support of the party zoning their presidential candidate to the north. I have said it, that I was not pleased with it. If they have zoned everything to the south, it means that the south struggle. If Peter Obi gets it, so be it. If Tinubu gets it, so be it. If whoever, if it was Wike that gets it, so be it. But when you now put it in the north, you also have obviated the sensitivity of Nigerians as to where the presidential candidate of the political party should have emerged from. That is my major concern about the presidential candidate of the PDP. But again, as I said, it is left for the citizens of the country to determine who governs them in 2023 general elections. So the opportunity is there. The elections are fast approaching. We believe that people will assess the candidates before determining what is better for the country.
All right, but let's look at the Muslim ticket briefly. What do you see about that? Don't you see that as a misnomer, looking at what we have in terms of the constitution of the country?
I'm a Christian, but I will not say it's a misnomer. If you say it's a misnomer, what is misnomer? The current president is a Muslim. The vice president is a Christian. What has changed? It's not an issue of religion. Although religion is a consideration, but we know too well that the Southerners, having accepted a Muslim to represent them, it is clear that the Northerners will not allow a Christian to represent them.
Okay.
It was clear from there.
Okay, I said that as a point of digression because basically we're looking at PDP and the 2023. But let's look at the reports of this, the Muslim ticket. Do you see any grounds with that?
I think I don't see the grounds with that at all. I don't have. I'm one of those people who believe. I don't believe in the issue of religion. When you talk about politics, religion is a very different thing entirely. Those political us start to make a noise with the issue of religion. Religion is not politics. They shouldn't bring politics, religion to politics.
Okay.
So whether Muslim ticket or this is, it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't count.
It doesn't count because you are aware that not just today we have a lot of reference to make.
But you made mention of the fact that when it comes to elections, there are they always do this along ethnic lines and religious lines.
No, let me tell you.
Underlying religious lines, you may mention.
What's
this a very sensitive
to look at? What I'm trying to say is that the dual attention, the way the issues is something else.
Okay.
That's why I'm worried. Nobody is because they're trying to burn the country because of the Muslim. It's not so because you remember June 12th election. It was Muslim. Abela was a Muslim. The man Kibin was a Muslim, and a lot of Nigerians voted on who we feel that is can lead them. Religion was never used. So Muslim.
But unfortunately, you corroborated that religion. So how do we get away from the program?
Now, for example, let me tell you.
How do we get away from the program? You've already said
the last election.
Yes, it will also be based on that.
Wait, that is what our way goes. I said all our elections. Yes, all our elections. It's always, I told you, ethnicity is always driven by ethnicity and
so being that as it is,
which
being that as it is, doesn't it situate it that the Muslim ticket is a sensitive part that could go worsen the configuration?
No, you see, like, I did a mathematical calculation here, right away. So that you see, I did a mathematical calculation to show you what they are relying on.
Okay.
Not just they know what they are doing. You are aware that the issue of religion does not really bother that because in this state here, last election it was Christian here. But you never had anything religion. Nobody thought it meant a meaning. The rap candidate was a Muslim, Christian Muslim.
There's quite a difference. There's quite a difference. A big gap. When we're comparison with the state.
No, I'm not with national radio. I tell you about Abela now, Muslim. All right. I'm trying to just give you. You see, they should do attention.
Thank you.
Because you are aware. Let me tell you, you're aware that even when issue of you say APC Muslim, you're also aware that the Khan from Bonu. They spoke that this even that Shetima you're talking about the man is a man they trust.
Okay.
That what he did, Christian could not even do it.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Sekwene.
Thank you very much. These are fine legal practitioners, custodian of the law, that worth their onions. And quickly, we're going to be opening the lines to all listeners on independent radio and, of course, distinguished viewers on independent television to contribute. But don't forget, the core value here is be civil in your presentation, because as your voice is heard, you are also a co-presenter on this show. And it's important that we do not overheat the fragile piece that we're having, or as some may say. The number is 0708 365 1320. 0708 365 1320 for our listeners on independent radio, and I believe there'll be a rider on that on the screen for our viewers to also quickly join. 0708 365 1320. And we seem to have a caller. Good morning, caller. Hello, caller. Good morning, caller. Okay, as we expect callers on this, let's...
Hello.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Festus. I'm close to Olukuye, your station.
Okay, Festus, what's your contribution on this?
I enjoyed the program, and I want to greet the doggedness of the panelists you have there. They are speaking their mind, and I believe they are speaking the mind of the average Nigerian. What I want to say is that this election is fast approaching. The INEC is the up of this election. How prepared are they? The INEC, they are the up of this election. How prepared are they? Secondly, the security agencies, you see, it's not just saying it. If these two bodies are well trained and know how to do these things without any bias, then we have a free, fair, and credible election that the world will learn from it. Because the mind of most Nigerians are ready. They already, if the election is held today, God knows who will win. Today, when I mean today, God knows who will win. We mean the people who are responsible in this election, the INEC and the security agencies. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think you have to also make contribution in that regard. A lot of responsibility awaits INEC. Now we have this whole issue of vote buying, this whole issue of voter apathy.
Apathy,
So what do you make of this in response to what the caller asked?
Yes, I think I had the opportunity of evaluating some papers in respect to the issue of collaboration in election security management in Nigeria, with a focus on the 2023 elections. We have argued that the agencies of government, especially the security agencies, should collaborate with INEC to ensure that there is security of lives and property before, during, and after the elections. So that, of course, every citizen can beat his chest that he was going for a free and fair elections where he fears no harm.
Okay. I'll come back to you. Let's quickly take this caller. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning. My name is Chuksi. I'm calling from Benin.
Chuksi from Benin.
Yes.
Go ahead with the
I want to greet you and thank your analysts in the studio. All of you are doing well. But there is something people are not letting us know. You see, this election is not all about PDP or APC or Labour Party. You people in the studio knows the truth. The average Nigerian citizens today are suffering. The country today, what we expect from the 2015 is the opposite side they are giving us today. Nobody, whether you belong to APC or PDP or any party, not just use Benin as a case study. When you go to market to buy something, your party, because you belong to one political party, they will not tell you come and buy this thing, it's 5 naira. Because you belong to opposition, come and buy it 20 naira. Nigerians are not happy with the situation of this country. And with what is in the mind of citizens, we want a better Nigeria for everybody, including you people in the studio. And not all about people who decide who rules. We the Nigerians have to decide who will rule us. Not people in the
Chukwu.
That's my own
Thank you
contribution.
for your
Thank you.
articulation. Well, it shouldn't be all about the political parties and it should be about Nigerians, and that's the way that. But before I come back to you, Patrick, I round up on your point.
Yes, you see, what security is equal to free and fair elections because of the fact that if the scenarios or situations makes it vulnerable for people to vote, voter apathy will also come in. And that will give room for election malpractice and other incidences that will not speak well for elections.
Okay.
Now, before I just stop, you see, let me just round up that issue of tickets before we progress. The issue of a party's candidate is a party issue.
Now, what Chuk said.
Yes, it's a
You're
party
responding to
issue.
that?
Yes. If a party decides to feature a Muslim ticket or a Christian ticket or a Muslim Christian ticket, it's a party decision.
Yes, okay.
That is now left for the citizens to evaluate. Are we going to vote for
make
a
their
party?
choice.
Yes. Am I going to vote for a party who featured a Muslim ticket, or a party who featured a Christian Muslim ticket, or a party who featured Christian ticket? So it's left for the citizens to decide. Whatever is happening now is a party, is an internal matter.
Yeah, like he said, Nigerians are suffering.
Yeah,
and,
so
the promises made by a particular political party
Yes.
that came on board,
Yes.
they're still not getting the benefit of it all.
Yeah, all of this.
So sometimes you wonder if there's a deliberate act to impoverish the people.
Well, I think
and that seems to encourage voter apathy.
Yes.
That seems to bring about the question of, does my vote really count?
the vote
And
counts.
so a lot needs to be said here.
Vote counts. But what I want to tell us, Nigerians, it is not the party. It's the person who manages the affairs of the party on behalf of the people.
Okay.
It's no issue of APC.
Okay.
It's no issue of PDP.
I think that's your roundup point.
Yes, it's also issue of Labour Party. It's the person managing the affairs of the party.
Okay.
Now, why I'm saying that, if you look at the few periods that Osinbajo held sway in government, there were some simile of proactive decisions which see a kind of stabling the economy. It's the person holding sway. It's not the party, because the reason is that parties in Nigeria are not built along ideological lines. And therefore, party has no ideology. There are no socialist party, conservative party, or Labour Party, so in Nigeria.
Well, another question would be, if they are not built along ideological lines, what lines are they building on?
You see,
Is it ethnic or religious lines?
you know, no. See, Nigerians.
I said that as a rhetorical question.
Yes.
You must respond to it.
Yeah, I would respond to it. I'm not responding to it.
Yeah, you
But
said
what-
yours. You said yours.
Yes, no, what I want to just quickly say is that why I'm saying there are no ideological political party is that you see people jumping from one political party to the other, and they also make them presidential candidates, Labour Party candidate, PDP candidate. They just moved just now. They moved from APC to maybe PDP. They made them presidential candidate. Or you move from PDP to Labour Party, they made them presidential candidate.
So that seems to question the integrity of.
Yes, all of these are issues. So it's not the parties. The parties are just avenues of...
Patrick, you have the floor. Let's look at all of this concerning what the last respondent said about the masses are suffering and what needs to be done to make sure that there's a change in all of this ballgame.
You see, when you try solving a problem, you tried, it still remain. You try, it still remain severally. It means you have a fundamental problem. You have to go to the drawing board. Now, this thing, you see, the problem of, say, hardship, suffering, we are all Nigerian. Nobody is left out. We go to the same market. We understand the pace of Nigerian, average Nigerian, what they suffer. But on the side of government, they look as if, it was deliberate. But you see, ordinarily, in Nigerian politics, just like globally, politics is interest. It's government by interest. Nobody cares. If it favors me, I don't care about you. That is sort of thing here. If not, a government that could not do well. Sorry, John, I still have to go back to section 14 of our grand constitution. That's where I told you about the fundamental objective, principle of a state policy. It is the parameter in which government is run. I don't run away from it. If you apply that section from being where it is in totality, you won't have any problem. Okay, because he made it clear that the primary duty of the government is
I'll give you a little time in less than a minute to round up, but let's quickly take this caller. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, quickly tell us your name, where you're calling from, and kickstart your contribution.
I'm Mr. Joshua from Saple Road.
Okay, go on, Joshua.
I heard what you are discussing. God bless you all in Jesus' name. That is there. The fact is that the listeners and both of you that are there, all of you that are there, we are not small picking again. We know where Nigeria had been in 1970s, to the 80s, to the early 90s. Now the condition where Nigeria is now, we are not voting for party. We are voting for the credibility of a responsible candidate that will bring something to Nigeria. That the suffering of Nigeria is too much. We have tried A and B. Let us try another person, and let us see if a way forward.
Thank you.
The opportunity has been given to us now, Nigerians, to choose by ourselves because the destiny is on our hand by our.
Thank you. Let's get another contribution. The number is 0708-365-1320. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Quickly, tell us your name, where you're calling from, and make your contribution.
This is Eric calling from Centurion.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. So what I want to say this morning is just simple. Now we are tired of this party system. Nigeria is not actually operating a two-party system. It's supposed to be a multi-party system. So ever since we've been saying PDP, APC, and all of you. So we are tired and we need a change.
Thank you.
So we get the market now. There are so many issues going on there. So we just need a new party.
Eric said they need a new party. But as we conclude on this ground, what do you make?
No, I'm seeing if you target for such a way.
Give me 1 minute.
Yes. I said by Section 14, if I to have based on that parameter, I made it clear that the primary duty of a government, look at the issue holistically. You don't do it, you don't separate them. The primary duty of a government, Section 14 made it clear, that is shall be for the security and welfare of the people. If government know that this is the main point of being in government, you don't need to bother yourself about those security men are going to use the election day. If policy was over the government, it's a constitutional provision.
Okay.
That the issue of security will not come with it.
Thank you.
Then the issue of welfare. Are they feeling fine? What of their health issue in Nigeria? What is this stuff? It's a constitutional provision.
Thank you so much for your articulation. Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you. A lot has been said here, and it's all about the people, like what has been shared. It's all about the people to decide who they want, what they want, as the 2023 inches closely. And there's a much we can take. Big thanks, listeners on Independent Radio, for being part of this very, very great discussion, and of course, distinguished viewers. We'll do this again same time next week. I'm Philip Omo Gupon. Goodbye, and have a beautiful day ahead of you.